What's up, guys? Welcome back to United State of Mind. Damn, it's been a minute since we did one of these, Cam. I can't lie. It feels like
It
time since the
has.
last time we sat down and talked about United on stream. I hope you guys are all doing well. I can see a lot of you guys are talking about the Madrid game. We may touch on that a little bit near the end. Obviously, the main talking point here is the United game we just got finished watching. Of course, Newcastle and their other game destroying West Ham, who look like they might be going down. But before we kind of talk about all the action that happened in today's footballing world, Culture Cams, welcome. How you doing, bro?
What's good, bro? What's good? What's good, man? You're right, bro. It's been a while. Feels like it's been a while since we've done it like this. It
I
has,
know.
It has, man. International break, all of that, getting in between. And yeah, man, happy to get a win. So let's get into this, bro.
100%. I think the last time we were doing this, bro, we were still on our different setups. We looking all crisp now, 1080p, no
I'm getting it.
pixels.
Working on it.
Come on, bro. Come
Still
on.
working.
Let's talk about today's game, bro. Manchester United 1, Brentford 0. A little bit of revenge game there, right? Because, I mean, you think back to the second game of the season, which seems like an eternity ago at this rate. Brentford 4, United 0. We all remember your Twitter space at halftime. Iconic. Legendary. So it's nice that 6 to 8 months later, we can kind of look back and say, okay, we've progressed from there, definitely. But I think the mood around the club was probably closer to it was back then than a good one, because the last few games have been really difficult for United since they won the Carabao Cup against Newcastle. Performances have been poor, results have been even poorer. And today, United entered this game in 5th place, needing to win to get back into the top 4. So not only was a performance needed, a result was definitely needed too. And I think today for me is the definition of, get the job done. And I think it was convincing in terms of performance, but there are a few things here and there that I'm still a little bit concerned about. But before we kind of get into those, what are your initial takeaways from the game we just got finished watching? You're on mute.
I said, you know what? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That first half was a good first half, bruv. It was a really good first half, man. I saw we had 72% possession, 12 shots, hella passes more than them. They had to clear it was the Premier League stats. And it was like, yeah, listen, this is what you want to see every single game when you're a better team. I know right now we're not good enough to be a team that goes and does that home and away against every team in the league. But that was a good first half, man. And to get a goal as well, to be 1-0 up, to show for it, that's exactly what you want. You know what I mean? That's exactly what you want. So I was definitely pleased with that. I think the second half went away from us a little bit. Well, became a little bit more of a competitive game, but we still managed to have relatively good control on the ball. We didn't look too panicked. And yeah, they had an opportunity which they probably should have scored. But that's what you need your goalkeeper for, innit? To make those saves when you need them. So overall, man, I think it was a good performance. As they say, professional, get in, get out. But yeah, man, I think there were some individual performances that were good, definitely, that we can speak on. But overall, today was all about getting the result, because at the end of the day, we've not been on good form. Have we even scored in the league since the Carabao Cup? I don't think so. That was our first
They
goal.
didn't score in like 2 months, since February.
There we go. Lost against Liverpool, who was a rival. Lost against Newcastle, who are an emerging rival.
Southampton draw.
Southampton. So at the end of the day, hasn't been good enough at all. You know what I mean? So all we needed today is get a win, and it was good to have a good first half performance. Now let's go against Everton and make it 2 halves. You know what I mean? They're fighting for their lives. They're gonna want it, but it's all about how we perform. You know what I mean? We got to start. We know how good we are at home. So we just got to keep taking care of that and then just improve a little bit away from home, man. It really needs to come. But yeah, man, we'll talk about some individuals today. But yeah, man, I think we got it right. Brentford looked nullified. And yeah, man, I can only be happy.
I think I mirror everything you just said. To be honest, first of all, I want to give credit to Ten Hag, because I think the last few games, I've been very critical of him. I think the lineups have been iffy. The in-game substitution has left me puzzled, to be honest with you. I mean, I look at the last game where he brings on Lindelof and takes off 2 center backs. I still can't wrap my mind around what was his thinking behind that. I just think the way he's entered games has been poor. Obviously, I'm just a fan, right? But looking from the outside in, I can't wrap my head around his decisions there. I think today he actually set up extremely well. The first half, we were on to Brentford. They couldn't get out of their half, but we played in their half. 2 performances I really want to talk about are actually the fullbacks.
Hey, Lamps confirmed, yeah?
Is that it? Yeah,
What
Chelsea have
Chelsea,
reached
mate?
agreement in principle
What
to
Chelsea?
install Frank Lampard.
Yeah. Super Frank's back. Times are good again, man.
We'll
Times are
talk
good
about
again.
him later on.
Keep
Times
the
are good
blue
again.
flag flying high, people.
This guy is
Keep the blue
sick, man.
flag flying high.
Let me go back to what I was saying, right? I think two performances I really want to point out and praise are the two fullbacks. Malacia, who came on after I think 20, 30
Mm,
minutes for Luke Shaw because he went out injured, and Dallo, who I've been
mm.
very critical of since the World Cup because Dallo, the first half of the season, had like this little remontada in his career. I think Ten Hag really found a role for him and got the best out of him. He looked great. Since the World Cup, I told you yesterday, Cam, when we saw each other, I don't think he's played a single good game since then. Today, I thought Dallo was excellent. Malacia, I thought was absolutely excellent today. And I think everything we really did well. Of course, there were other great performances in the team, but I think it started from those two out wide. They progressed the ball well, locked up their individual attackers they were up against, progressed it well. I'm very impressed with both their performances, especially Malacia, right? Because Malacia has probably been like the least spoken about signing that we've made. Everyone talks about Lisandro. Veghorst gets talking about rightly or wrongly, and so on and so forth. Casemiro. Malacia is someone that we got on an absolute bargain. Not many people knew about him before. He's kind of had to bide his time at points in the season. Started in the beginning of the season, kind of hasn't played much since Luke Shaw really hit some form. But today, if Luke Shaw is to be out, I feel very confident in Tyrell Malacia coming to this team and giving us top-end performances consistently.
Bro, I fully agree with you, man. I fully agree with you. The one thing about Dallo and sometimes Malacia as well, but Malacia is young, first season. People got to remember that. Young, first season coming into it, £12 million signing. I think so far for what he's been required to do, he's done well. But one thing about it is we want consistency. You know what I mean? From Malacia, we want consistency from Dallo. As you mentioned, before the World Cup, you were thinking, whoa, there was people putting him in crazy conversations. I wasn't one of them. I've always been a fan of him, but I wasn't putting him in wild conversation. But then it just completely fell off a cliff. I don't know if it's because of injury. And you look at the way Dallo is built, he looks like someone that might need a few games to get going. But I don't know. I don't know what it was, but he wasn't performing to the level that we know he can. And then Malacia, when he came on today, oh, his passing today, bro. Every pass was sharp. Every pass was calm. Like every time he got the ball, he'll cut in if he needs to. He'll go out wide if he needs to. He'll drop his shoulder. I like Malacia, bro. And you know what I think about our left back situation. I want someone to come. I think he can be someone that nails that down in the future for a long time. Okay, we give Luke Shaw the 4 year, but don't just sit down and think, oh, damn, Luke Shaw's going to be here for the next 4 years. I'm finished. No, look at it and be like, well, you know what I mean? You better start giving me some pointers off the bench. That's how he should be looking at it. So when I look at him, he's calm on the ball, bro. That's what I like. You can give him the ball in tough situations, and he'll give you a solution. And that's something that we complain about a lot with Man United, bro. Like technical security, who can get the ball and spin, who can get the ball and do different things with it. I think he's one of the players that can. So we need to be trying to not out here saying, oh, like obviously Shaw has had some good moments. I'm not out here saying he should start every game for the rest of the season. I don't know. But if Luke Shaw is injured or if Luke Shaw is feeling half fit or whatever, there should be no hesitation to have Malacia to end the season. He was good today, man. And him and Lissandro on that side, two mini-me's just going at it.
Yeah.
They're like two pit bulls, bro. Both of them, you know what I'm saying? So, nah, man, I was especially impressed with him. I wasn't impressed with Dallo but that's what I expect from Dallo. I know Dallo can do that. I know Dallo can be calm on the ball. I know Dallo helps us with progression. I know he can invert. The actual thing I want to see next from Dallo is fly forward. You know what I mean? Always be that option for Anthony, because I think it's a Ten Hag instruction, personally, with the fullbacks at the moment, because our midfield don't give us control. So I think he thinks, okay, the fullbacks can give us control. But I would want to see him overlapping more. You know what I mean? So Anthony can have an easier option to cut in and shoot, or Anthony can slip him down, and that's how you pin back teams in it. If your fullbacks are high, you're pinning back opposition every single game. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it's progress with the team, but that's the next step I want to see.
Yeah, I hear you 100%. The other guy, of course, that I feel we talk about every single game of Man United is the guy you brought up next to Malacia. Lisandro Martinez, who, bro, on the ball is just like, it feels like a cheat code with him at times, bro. Honestly, in build-up, the way he disguises those slipped balls through the lines is like an elite level midfielder. The way he would do it, bro. I'm in love with the guy. You know that, bro. I think he's
Right,
absolutely
it's like,
terrific.
I actually think I think he actually carried Varane today. I'm not even going to cap. I think he
That's
carried
interesting
Varane
coming from you because
today.
I know. Usually you're more on the Varane hype.
Yeah, but I think today he carried Varane, man. Like, I don't think Varane was at his best today. Actually, to be
Mm,
it's funny because I think Varane was actually better on the ball than he was defensively today. And usually he's better defense. Weird
yeah,
one, but I think sorry, not Anthony. I think Lissandro was excellent today, man. Like, there was even a moment the ball was like in the half in the air, and he just jumped volleyed it, like boom boom, cleared it away. He was getting on the ball, of course, as he always does. Defended when Varane almost gave away a penalty in the last couple minutes. He stood up, won the tackle. So it was a very, very good performance from Varane, man. Honestly, I mean, from Lisandro Martinez. So I ain't gonna
I
lie,
feel
that
like
was
every game, bro, we're saying it like, oh, great performance from Lissandro. Lissandro was the one guy for United. I feel like he's been United's most consistent player. Look, I think Casemiro is the best player, but it's hard to rely on his availability these days. Lissandro has probably been the guy who's been the most like consistent in terms of performances from match day one to match
I
day now.
mean,
So
yeah,
yeah,
of course, consistent in performance and consistent in reliability. And in yeah, I mean, the one thing that Casemiro is lacking is reliability solely
yeah.
because he's not staying on the pitch, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, 100%, I 100% agree with that. If there's going to be a Player of the Year conversation, the only thing that I don't like is that our concede record is
I
just
know it doesn't look good on either of our center backs. Yeah,
doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. So obviously we know Rashford is going to win our Player of the Year. But I mean, if there was going to be someone else in consideration,
yeah.
you would be looking at Lissandro probably next.
That's one of those ones, right, where they give like fans player of the year to Rashford. I think players player of the year they'll give it to like Lissandro, like
Yeah,
the way they used to
managers,
give.
Player of the Year,
Yeah, the
managers.
way they used to give that shit to Herrera before, you know.
We gave it to McTominay. Jose gave it to McTom.
Nah, shout out Lissandro though. I also want to give big. I mean, I think to be honest with you, I don't really think there was a bad performance in the team today. Actually, you know what? I would probably say the guy who was probably the most frustrating for me today was the guy who actually scored the goal. I thought this was one of Rashford's poorer games in terms of like,
You
yeah,
really
no, I think
it was
he
one
would
of
skin his
Rashford's better
defenders a
games,
few
bro.
times, right? I'll tell you this, right? I thought Rashford on the ball skinned his defender a few times, got into great positions, but I thought consistently today his final action was poor. His final pass consistently failed to find his teammates. So that was the one thing I was disappointed in. I'm not saying he played a horrible game, but he was probably the most frustrating for me. I think everyone else, to be honest with you, played decent to like well. I look at the midfield, and one thing that really actually caught my eye was Sabitzer, who we've seen kind of like sitting next to McTominay in midfield the last few games, and it hasn't worked out whatsoever. Sabitzer was almost playing as like a fourth attacker alongside Sancho, Rashford, and Anthony. It's almost like Sabitzer would take up that space next to Rashford, and Bruno was almost playing a little deeper. And I think Sabitzer actually probably played one of his better games since he's joined the club. But Bruno, for me, his passing today, bro, some of those passes that he was pulling off from deep. I mean, the left-footed one to Rashford,
Yeah.
that little one where he sliced it to Anthony where it looked like we could be on the break. I thought Bruno was masterful today with his passing, bro. I think this is one
You
of
know
his more
what?
mature games. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with the Bruno, but I can't lie, I disagree with the Rashford take, bro. I disagree with the Rashford take. I'm not gonna lie. I actually thought, especially that Rashford was playing 9. You know, often when he's playing 9, I always say, be like Vardy, direct, forget about what's going on the ball, just score goals, direct, be a nuisance. But I'm not gonna lie, I thought today he was dropping in, he was going wide on the left, on the right, he was linking up well. I actually thought this was one of his better all-round 9 performances, bro. I'm surprised that you
Interesting.
think that it wasn't. Maybe, obviously, he only scored the 1 goal and didn't get the other assist. But in terms of actually making things happen, driving the team up the pitch as well, I thought this was one of his better games compared to some of the games. Even when he scores a brace, there's been games where you're like, but I actually thought,
Fairs,
he
yeah.
could walk away from this one and be like, yo, I actually had an all-round 9 performance today. But
I will say
obviously,
that I do agree with that bit, actually. I think he was more involved today than he has been in the past, where like sometimes he's literally playing with the sole intention of like, yo, I'm going to get myself in goal scoring position to score. He was definitely more involved today over 90 minutes. For me, it was frustrating, right? Because he gets himself into such amazing positions, and it's just like sometimes the final ball is lacking. But hey, at the same time, if he gets every single one of those right, we're talking about like Messi levels at that point.
yeah. But this is what I'm saying. It's so hard for the modern day player to be
Yeah.
both. Like
Yeah.
it's so hard, and I don't even want to say modern day player because you look at the players that we used to stand, Zidane's and Iniesta. Their man ain't giving us all these goals and
No.
assists,
Yeah.
and it's like it's hard to combine being an elite footballer and an elite statistics. Bro, you're talking Benzema's, you're talking Messi's, you're talking literally the highest
Yeah.
echelon of player you can think of. But yeah, in terms of the Bruno performance, like obviously we're critical of Bruno when he plays bad, so let's be vocal about him when he plays well. You know what I mean? And today was a calm performance. Like there was a point where I even said, "Where's Bruno at?" Like, like I'm not seeing any erraticness. I'm not seeing any
Yeah.
wow. Like, it was much better for him. It was much better, but I do think it helped that Brentford weren't as aggressive as we expected them to be. You know, like Newcastle were aggressive and you could see it didn't work out there. I think we allowed him to get on the ball a little bit too much. And then also we allowed him to get on the ball a little bit they allowed him, sorry, to get on the ball a little bit too much. But overall, yeah, fair play to him. And that was a good calm performance from me. That's what we want to see a lot more because it makes absolutely no sense that we have a player that you basically say cannot play in the 8, cannot collect the ball off the back four, cannot. If you're a midfielder, you should be able to do everything, in my opinion. You know what I mean? The best midfielders can do most things. You know what I mean? Could do 4 out of 5 things that you require from a midfielder. If you're only able to do 1 or 2, then you're not a very good midfielder. So we need to be seeing more, or we need to be seeing more of that. You know what I'm trying to say? And that should be the standard. That should be the standard, simple as. But what do you think about the wide men today, Sancho and Anthony?
That's always the interesting one for me, bro. I always got my eye on those two, the treacherous twins, if you want to call them that, bro. I think they were calm, to be honest with you. Look, Anthony had his moments today. Obviously, he has a huge part to play in the goal. I think it was a really nice, like, chipped ball over to Sabitzer. Good vision there. I still find him very frustrating. Like, obviously, he's never going to be at this point in his career. Hopefully, that's something that he can massively improve on because I think it's severely lacking in his game. But 1v1, give me 1 second. I don't know. Take over from here real quick, bro.
Yeah, so I don't know what happened to him, but for me, guys, I actually thought Sancho and Anthony had good games, and actually, I wouldn't say amazing games. I wouldn't say poor games. I just thought they were good today. I actually thought they helped us a lot on the ball. I actually think they allowed us to miss out the midfield sometimes because we know they're going to retain it and they're going to keep it. And I think Sancho's retention today was much better than we normally see his retention. Lately, you know, everyone talks about Rashford. I mean, talks about Sancho's technical security. And usually I'm like, bro, what's going on with it? But today, I actually think Sancho and Anthony were always passing options, allowed us to miss the midfield of McTominay, Sabitzer, who sometimes it can get a bit chaotic with them two. Them two were wide, got on the ball, and they were probing. And one thing I liked about Anthony, one, he crossed with his right foot. 2, he had about 4 or 5 shots. Now, I don't think any of them came close. But one thing that I keep saying, what was the word I kept saying about Anthony? I need threat. Be a threat. Like, be a threat. And today, he tried to be a threat. And I said, if Sancho had Anthony's personality, he'll be a top player, bro. Anthony believes I should be here, bro. Like, give me the ball. I'm going to shoot. That's what we want Sancho to do next. So, but then Anthony's ball into Sabitzer knocked down, and then we score. So I actually think the wide men had good performances. Now, is it Ryan Giggs and Ronaldo duo? No, it's not.
It's never going to be that. That's the thing, though.
It's never going to be that. But I actually think they allowed us to make Brentford push back today. I actually think having the ball, these two who are very clean on the ball, want to pass it around, allowed us to push and pin Brentford back, man, in the first half. Second half, it got a little bit. But when we were on top, I think these two are on the ball well, but we need to improve our threat from them too. Now, how do you go from being retention players, we can help you guys possess, to I'm walking away with a goal, 2 assists? How do you change like that? That's the next step. But I want
that's an individual thing for me, though, Cam. I would say that's individualism right there, and that's not something for me that a system can help, because that's something for me that you hear often with Sancho and Anthony. It's always, well, we need the right environment around them. And I was just about to say, actually, before my thing cut off, Anthony, the one thing I've noticed about him, look, everyone knows my frustrations about him really come 1v1. Against this fullback, what can you give me? At the moment, not much in his career. But Anthony is extremely effective when he's able to kind of combine with players inside, when he has a striker to play off of and like make his way inside then, because he has no threat on the outside. All of his best moments come, like you say, when he can kind of find that bit of space, get the ball on his left foot and try and curl it into the top corner. A bit like Sancho. Obviously, Sancho's threat doesn't come in finding shots like that. But again, it's the same thing in terms of finding players to combine with and making his way inside that way. Neither of those two players are going to get the ball and pick it up and dribble past their fullbacks like that. It's just not going to happen. Mm-hmm. So in that sense, I definitely agree when people say, oh, we need to get the right kinds of players around them to get the best out of them. We need the right system to get the best out of them. But that thing that you just talked about, when can we start to expect them to really take over the game, score goals, create chances on their own? That's individualism, and that's going to have to come purely from them because there's no system or setup that can get the best out of that.
And the thing is, I don't always mean on your own. Like, I don't need you to get the ball skin 4-5 and score. You know what I'm trying to say? What I mean is just like, can you get yourself in more threatening areas? You look at where Anthony is being a threat. Outside the box, 25-yard shots. Now, as Graham Potter would say, that's a low XG shot. That's a low XG chance. Like, all of Anthony's things are low XG opportunities, should we say. Sancho, he's not enough in those areas. Now, how do we move these guys 5 yards forward, 5 yards more inside? If they can just move 5-10 yards more inside, now they're dribbling in the box.
Yeah.
Now defenders are like, I can't even touch them. Bang, goal. Because when you're dribbling in the box, touch me, I'm going down. It's a penalty. You're not going to want to do that. But them man don't get enough penalty area touches. You look at even Grealish, whose threat is questionable at times at Man City. The guy touches the ball in the box like a million times. Do you know what I mean? You need to be getting Mahrez. He's touching the ball a million times in the box. And City fans complain about, oh, these two ain't threatening enough, but they are at least in the box touching the ball often. So that's what we need to do. That's what they need to do to go to the next level, in my opinion. But I want to see Sancho start against Everton. It will frustrate the hell out of me if Ten Hag does not start him against Everton, because you got to give this guy a run of games, bro. You can't keep pulling him in, pulling him out. Give him a run of games, because you gave Weghorst 20 starts in a row. You know what I mean? Give this guy some games, man. So, yeah, let's see what happens.
I agree with you. And I think Everton as well, when you talk about Anthony and Sancho, that's a game that's going to suit them. Like, for me, the Newcastle performance, the Newcastle game in general, is really where I still have question marks, especially over Sancho, slightly with Anthony, but more so of Sancho. In games where we're not going to have most of the ball, is Sancho really the kind of winger that you want when Newcastle are pressing you, they're outworking you, they're recovering the ball like that? I don't know if that's the kind of game that gets the best out of Sancho. It's not our fault. It's just the kind of player he is. But games against Everton, and games like today against Brentford, where we know we're going to dominate the game, we're going to kind of control the way the game goes, I think that's where you want to see Sancho start for sure. But I'm with you. I'd be very frustrated if Sancho isn't to start next game, and then he tries forcing him in the cup semifinal against Brighton or something like that. Like, games where we know we're going to have a lot of the ball and we need solution makers, that's where I want to see Sancho especially.
Yeah, man. Everton, what are they going to do? Come and pin and play backs to wall. Damari Gray, can you pull out a screamer, please? Whatever. We know what they're going to do. So it will frustrate me if we don't see him start in the game, bro. You know what I mean? It would frustrate me. Yeah. But all round, man, good performance from us. Like, got the job done. And yeah, man, I'm happy.
One thing I will say, though, right? The reason I was so frustrated, right? I still don't think we create enough, like, good looks. Like, you know, in basketball, like, terms, it's like, oh, how many good looks are you really creating? Like, in football, like, it's like high value chances. I still don't think United creates enough of those, bro. Like, today should have been a game that we cruised, to be honest with you. And I think, honestly, that's the reason why our goal difference is as poor as it is. Of course, we've conceded, 7, 6, 4. I get that. Our defense has been porous at times. But going forward, we are not creating enough chances, scoring enough goals. There's too many 1-0s, 2-0s, 2-1s, 3-1s. How many times have we beaten a team 4-0 in the league this year, or 3-0 in the league? Like, past the team. It's not happening. It's not even that, like, oh, we're missing a lot of chances. At the moment, we're not creating enough chances. Like, today, I never thought that we were going to lose to Brentford, but you want to see that third go in. I also never thought that was going to happen either.
100%. We're not there yet. And this is why we're not sitting with City, and this is why we're not sitting with Arsenal. Simple as that. Look at the table. it doesn't tell lies. 42 goals we scored in the league. That's it. That's all you need to hear, bro.
Poor, man.
We're not there yet. And the reason why we're not there yet, first and foremost, bro, we do not control games. We do not control games. If we controlled the second half, I guarantee we would have had more chances. To be fair, Fred should have scored that chance. I don't know how he missed that, but we're not at that level yet. And it's as PA8G22 says, he says year 1 of 3. I don't know why 3 is always the limit, but yeah, it's year 1. This is what we're going to need. And this is why in the summer, I want to see an overhaul. I want to see ruthlessness. Bring in technical players. Bring in guys who are going to give us control, please. And then we'll be able to start seeing more chances, more innovative players, man. Guys with higher IQ. They find solutions, bro. We got no solution finders at the moment. Rash, he'll score. And then after that, you're struggling to think who's going to solve, you know what I mean, answers. So, yeah, man.
One last thing before we kind of talk about the next topic of today.
McTominay's block, one of his blocks that he did today.
Top, bro. McTominay, he kills me too, bro. This guy, when he sees a ball falling to him, like loose ball, whether it's coming out the sky or whether it's like edge of the box, bro, this guy turns into Gerrard, man. That strike that he was about to produce on the half volley, bro, that shit was flying in, bro. I promise you that shit was flying in.
He's got crazy striking tech, you know.
Yeah.
He can strike a ball.
Absolutely. He strikes it exceptionally well. The last thing I wanted to talk about before we kind of move on from this game and kind of look at what else happened in the football world today. Obviously, Weghorst didn't start today. I'm sure you saw that the team news today, and we're overjoyed that his reign of terror is over. 20 games not out. I think most people were expecting Martial to start, but apparently he was late, I think by 40 minutes, which is absolutely...
No. 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes. But even still 10 minutes, I mean, yo, come on. You've been out the team for how long, bro? Be on time, please. But what did you make of his performance today? And I mean, kind of backing it up, what did you think of his cameos against Newcastle and then today?
I can't remember the Newcastle one, I'll be honest. But today, I think it was... all right, it was all right. You know, I mean, he still looks, he's got a little bit of the rust you can see. But as we know, you can always pass Martial the ball and you can rely on him to control it well, hold it up, and go from there. You know what I mean? So I think it was a decent cameo, but Martial's been doing decent cameos all season. He's been doing decent cameos all season. So can it be starts, please? Can you be fit, please? Can you get to the game on time, please?
Wait, hold up. This guy's saying, I mean, Cams was late, 10 minutes late to this stream.
Hey, Ten Hag's not my gaffer.
FTBL's your gaffer, bro. They about to be on you, bro.
I can lock off this stream right now, mate. Martial can't do that.
FTBL about to lock off your paycheck, bro. What would be your front three for next game then? Because I know you said you want to see Sancho start. Rashford, it's a given. Would you put Martial in? Would you go for the same front three? What are you saying?
I will go for the same front three. I'll start with the same front three. I don't think Martial, is he fit enough to start yet? Is he fit enough to start? I don't know. But only problem is though, when's Brighton in FA Cup?
Because I know next week it's Sevilla, which is actually probably where I would start Martial. European.
Are we home or away?
Against Sevilla.
Yeah.
I think it's away the first game.
I think we're home first. We're home first, I think.
Are we first? Hold on. Brighton, Man United. Let me check.
I think we're home first against them.
Brighton, Man United. Okay, that's the 23rd of April. That's the end of the month.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm starting Martial versus Sevilla. I'm starting Sancho again and Rashford up top with Anthony against Everton. Yeah, I'll start Martial against Sevilla, man. A bit more of a continental team. Get Martial in that type of game.
That's my thinking too. Yeah, that's my thinking as well. All right, that's Man United then. Obviously, it's been such a wretched reign of form. So many losses, so many draws, so many poor performances. So good to get back with a win. Good to get back with a good performance. And on to the next midweek against Sevilla. This weekend against Everton. Speaking of Everton, their ex-manager, Franklin Lampard, is the new and again manager of Chelsea Football Club. Culture Cams. Talk to me about your club legend, Frank Lampard. Rejoining the club. I'm sure you're overjoyed.
Don't joke with that one, bro. But listen, you can't hold a good man down.
Oh, don't
You know what I mean? You can't hold a good man down. That's all I gotta say. Sticks and stones may break my bones, you know what I mean? But words will never hurt me.
You're so
All
shameless.
of the stuff that people be saying are just words. It's just words. Frank is back. He's here to restore Mason Mount, first and foremost. You know what they say? I'm not the stepfather. I'm the father who stepped up.
Hey, yo, you're a bozo.
yo. But listen, he's back, man. Club legend. He didn't get his proper send-off. And it is what it is, you know what I'm trying to say? He didn't get his proper send-off. Now he can get his applause. When he left the first time, he left to Man City. He wanted to stay, but he ended up going through the back door to Man City. Then he got sacked. Now this time, applaud him. He's the greatest player in your history, bro. Applaud him. He deserves it. It's good, man. I'm happy for him.
You're a fool, bro. About
He's failing upwards. He's failing upwards.
I was just about to say that football is the only sport, bro, where you can fail upwards. You know what's so funny, right? We were talking yesterday at the game, and I was basically telling you, because we saw Frank Lampard at the game. We got the notification Frank Lampard's watching the game. I told you, I was like, bro, if I'm Lampard, I'm never coaching another game in my life, bro, because I coached Chelsea. It's the same way if I was Ollie, I would never want to coach another game in my life. Like, what do you have to prove anymore? You coached United. It's not getting any better for you there, bro. But Frank Lampard has managed to get the Chelsea job again, bro. Only football is this kind of stuff possible. And I don't blame him, right? Like, he must be feeling like the luckiest man alive. I was even saying, if you had told Frank Lampard at the beginning of this season, in a year's time, you're going to be back in the Chelsea job, he must have thought like, yo, I must have led Everton to Europe, or I must have won the league for Everton for them to take me back, bro. So he's probably feeling like the luckiest man on the planet. I'm looking at Chelsea, bro. And this is a hilarious institution, bro. Because to go from Frank Lampard, who you sacked, he was the original project manager. The first time Roman Abramovich really held his hands up and said, okay, I'm going to give a club legend time and money to build a young Chelsea team. That shit lasted a year and a half. They went for Thomas Tuchel. We know that story. And then what? A year and a half, 2 years later, to be right back where you started. What's that Thanos quote? You could not live with your own failures. So where did it lead you?
All right, back to me.
Back to me, bro. Chelsea are funny, bro.
Chelsea are funny, but to be honest, in all honesty, the appointment is strange to me because what is the objective for the appointment? Because if you're not going to appoint someone now, why not just keep that Bruno brother? What's his name? Salter.
Bruno Sutar, I think.
Yeah, Bruno Sutar. Why don't you just keep him? Just as a caretaker. Are you bringing in Lampard because you want him to turn around the results? The season's gone, Chelsea. The season's gone. So I'm not too sure what that was for. But maybe they're saying, hey, just give the guys a lift. Maybe they'll just go out there, express yourselves, have fun on the pitch. But I don't know, bro. Is this a sly semi-audition for the full-time job?
Nah, no, don't get gassed. I know you're low-key feeling it, but this is truly what it is, bro. This is just, for me, it's Todd Bowley getting the fans off his back. Because I think right now, Chelsea fans must be thinking, what the hell is going on, bro? You fired Thomas Tuchel. Chelsea fans love Thomas Tuchel. He was a cult hero. They brought in Graham Potter, who already right off the bat, they weren't too in love with. They basically kept Graham Potter till the last possible moment. The fan resentment started to build up. They fired Graham Potter. Chelsea fans are probably thinking, okay, we didn't like the guy, but you told us a long-term project. Okay, what's the goal here? Chelsea fans must really be looking at this ownership and saying, are you fit enough to run a football club at the highest level? So I think this is really, like you said, bring the greatest player in the club's history back. I think they were already upset at the first time because, like you said, Chelsea fans never even got the chance to applaud him off. They never even got the chance to say farewell to him. He got sacked in COVID. So I think this is just like something to get the fans off Bowley's back. It's literally a vibes appointment. It's an appointment for vibes.
Okay, but
get to the end of the season and then hire your long-term guy.
All right, let's give a scenario. What if he doesn't Ollie? Ollie's interim run. What if he doesn't Ollie? All right, they got 10 games left. He wins 8. He beats Real Madrid dramatically. He beats Madrid. They go up against Bayern or City and lose, whatever. Do Chelsea fans start getting attached again?
Yeah, they will. They will. This is football. This is football fans, and its core. They will absolutely be thinking in the back of their heads. Yo, but maybe the second time maybe it just wasn't meant to be the first time. Maybe this time is the one.
Bro, this is what I'm saying. And Todd Bowley, he looks like he's emotional a little bit. You know what I mean? He might bite. You never know, people. Lamps might be at the helm next season. Or if not, if I was Lampard, I'll be trying to find my way as the assistant for the next manager that comes. That is my ultimate goal. Let me be your assistant manager. Let me be your coach. That will be my ultimate goal, bro. You know what I'm saying? So listen, football's an emotional sport. It's one of the most ridiculous things in the world. As you said, people fail upwards. Football's emotional, man. Some of the things that you think is absolutely nonsense and ridiculous happens. You know what I mean? It happens. So, hey, Lamps might be there next season, people. You never know. You never know.
A man can dream, can he? I'd love that, bro.
Who's
Lampard ball was.
Chelsea's next game?
I'm not sure. I know
You
they still
know-
got 2 big games though, right? Chelsea still have to play Arsenal and City.
Yeah, bro. You know he's gonna tell them, "Hey, it's Arsenal. Let's battle of the bridge type this shit." You know what I mean? We're gonna fight for
And
our life.
Endo's gonna be like, "Who the hell cares about this shit, bro?"
That's why Mount is there. That's why Gallagher's there. You know. Yeah. That's why.
Oh, you got to play RLC, Gallagher, Enzo, Mount,
Lewis Hall, Sterling,
Trevor Chalobah, the ones that get it. Chelsea way.
Literally proper Chelsea, bro. Reece James, chillers. Yo, listen, battle of the bridge, wherever it is. Where is it?
The British Blues are back, bro. The British Blues are back.
Kings Road boys, the Kings Road boys. That's Chelsea, man. Guys,
Chelsea's next game is Wolves away.
Wolves are fighting for their lives. That might be a tough one. That might be a tough one.
Anyways, life of a Chelsea fan right now. I wouldn't want to be living it. I can't lie. Shit must be confusing as hell. Last thing. Well, actually, no. We'll talk briefly about Newcastle versus
I didn't watch
West
that
Ham.
one. Oh.
Yeah, I just want to ask you your thoughts on both clubs. To be honest with you, West Ham. How likely is it for you that they go down at this point? Because I know you got affiliations over there, but it's not looking good over there.
It's just not looking good, bro. Yeah, I am absolutely shocked. They have not sacked David Moyes yet. I don't know if they've taken their eyes off the ball because of the unfortunate passing of David Gold. I don't know, but why that decision hasn't been made is insane. But if you're a top team, you kind of want West Ham to get relegated because all of a sudden their best player becomes available for 50 mil. Not this 70, 80 mil that's being talked about. So I ain't saying I want West Ham relegated, but it sounds like an interesting proposition. You know what I'm trying to say? But nah, in all honesty, I can't see them going down because I just think they have a little bit too much quality. But it is not looking good. I don't want a relegation as captain on Decker's name, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's hard to shake off, bro.
Jack almost got that, but he rose. So I'm gonna need Deckers. I'm gonna need you to rise, and I'm gonna need West Ham to rise because they need to get rid of David Moyes. They need to get rid of David Moyes.
Ask Maguire, bro. That shit follows you on your resume till the end of your life. Until you start winning trophies, that shit follows you until the end of your life. So yeah, it's big. I mean, like, look, I agree with you. For me, I keep saying Leicester and West Ham, I think they have too much quality to go down. But then you look and they're there, and it's like they have too much quality to even be down there in the first place. But they're down there. So I always say this, right? No one is ever too good to go down. Leeds were not too good to go down in the early 2000s. Newcastle were not too good to go down the last few times. West Ham have been down there already in this last decade. Obviously, it's a different team. It's a different coach. It's a different West Ham. But I don't think you can rule out anyone at this point in the season. I'm like you, bro.
Bro, there's Everton, Leicester, West Ham. These are some proper Premier League clubs that might be going, you know. Actually, why am I talking about Everton? Everton 100% staying up. I told folks as well, Everton will stay up. And Sean Dyche, he's doing what he needs to do. Well, where are they in the table? I said they're going to finish 12th. Remember I said that, yeah? Where are they now?
They are
16th, but they are 3 points off Palace. Dyche is coming, man.
2 points off. They're also 2 points off Leicester.
Yeah, the league is crazy, isn't it? But
bro, 12th and down is a bloodbath, bro.
The league, I can't lie, man. The quality down there, there's a few gems in each team. You know, Madders, Lavia, Mateus Nunes, Declan Rice, and all these players. But bro, what is going on with the quality down there? It's absolutely horrific, bro. They got 7 wins. Teams up to
That's
12,
mental.
7 wins. Man, I got minus 30 goal difference and shit. Like Chelsea have -1. I don't know. The bottom half is absolutely poor this season, bro. I don't even know if it's like it's entertaining because this is gonna go down to the last day. Some Kieran Richardson moment is gonna happen. Some Carlos Tevez moment might happen. So it's gonna be unreal, like watching it, like the scoreboard, oh, and they've scored. It's gonna be crazy, but damn, the quality down there is horrific, bro.
It's a mid-off down there, bro. It's a mid-off of the ages.
Bro.
Who do you think that is the third team to go down then? I don't know if you've given your thoughts on that on stoppage or on this show, but right now, with 7-8 games left in the season for most of these teams, who do you think goes down?
What people are saying down there, yo, if Leicester go down, Madders, what are you saying? You got a little 35 mil for you.
I'm looking at Harvey Barnes. Who wants him? Hey, come save my boy.
Hey, listen, I don't mind a Hinacho for a little sub appearances and Madders. Yo, I'll hear that.
That's the Nigerian in you speaking, bro.
Bro, you gotta take that, man. What you would rather wear Veghorst renew?
Next subject.
So but I think Southampton are going. I think Nottingham Forest are going. And I think Bournemouth are going.
Hold on. So, you said Forest?
Yeah, I think Forest are going.
There was some whispers today that Steve Cooper might be on the way out. I know the owner came out and said that there were serious rumors this morning that he was on the way out, and then the owner came out and said we are going to keep him until the end of the season, which for me makes sense, right? Because already in the first half of the season they were sinking. I think they were bottom without a win for like 8 games, and the owner still gave him a new contract. So at this point, it would be foolish to let him go, I think. But I can't lie, bro. The way Leicester, go ahead.
All right. Go on, keep going.
So the way Leicester are going right now, bro, they don't have a manager. They have, since the World Cup, they are the worst team in the league on form. Since the World Cup. Since in 2023, Southampton have been better than them. Bournemouth have been better than them. It would be a miracle. And I'm talking like, forget their Premier League winning miracle. I'm talking like the one before that, the Great Escape miracle. That's what it's going to take for this Leicester team to find something, some kind of motivation, some kind of form out of nowhere to save their season, because right now it looks like they're sinking like a stone, bro.
Yeah, they are, man. They conceded 51 goals, man. That is mad. They aren't. This is mad. You know, this is like the championship. Honestly, this is like what the championship looks like every year. But I'm looking at Wolves as well. They're 28 points. Yeah. Do you know what? Since I've been saying Forest are going to go down, they've literally been sliding. Now they're 17th. Like when I said it, they were like 13th. It's mad. Anyway, but yeah, I can't lie. The Wolves, man, they got some gems there too, man. Mateus Nunes, that ball carrying ability, I'm gonna need that at OT, bro. I'm gonna need that.
Even Neves, right? I'm not saying Neves at United, but Neves gets linked to Europe's biggest clubs every single year, bro.
I'm gonna need that ball carrying, bro. I'm gonna need that. But listen, all I'm saying now is whoever goes down, I guess not the teams that I said. I said Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, and but even Southampton. Whoever goes down, we need there's players that can be shopped there. There's players that can be shopped there, 100% from whoever goes down in this bottom half. You're looking at the bottom 10 teams, no, bottom 9 teams. There is players that can be shopped there. That'll be for cut price. So I expect to see us in there, bro. Lavia, look at that. He's already an option. Bella Kotchap. Yeah, I mean, then you look at, let's go through it. Let's actually go. I don't want to spend too long on it, but Southampton. Lavia, Bella Kotchap.
I think even Walker Peters, what's his name? Ward Prowse. I'm not saying for United in particular, but bigger teams will want to get these guys, bro.
Yeah, that's the Spurs signing right there. Leicester, Maddison. Who else?
Barnes.
Yeah, Maddison and Barnes, let's say.
Yeah.
Bournemouth, I think you're stretching it there. I think they got 14.
That's true. Those are more so like the teams that come up might shop at Bournemouth.
Nottingham Forest, nah, not them either. I don't think so, personally.
I can't lie, bro. Brennan Johnson, Morgan Gibbs-White.
Oh, Morgan Gibbs-White. Morgan Gibbs-White is nice. He's nice. He's nice. I like him. Everton. Everton.
That's the one for me, right? That's why I think Sean Dyche is doing like when you
Tarkowski.
said Sean Dyche will keep them up. That when you
Yeah.
said Sean Dyche will keep them up, that's why I was saying for me it will be an insane coaching job because Everton are probably the team for me that have the least individual talent in my opinion. They got some dogs in there. Maybe Onana is the one guy. The rest of
Yes.
them, bro, there's not that many great players on Everton, man.
Yeah. Onana is a good one.
Yeah.
Onana, yeah. There's not actually. Who else? And Everton, no one else really. West Ham, obviously Declan Rice. There's Paqueta, who's probably thinking, listen, I'm not as this bad that I'm showing. I still got something in me. Bowen, he might get a move, you know what I mean? Potentially not to a I can see Liverpool wanting Bowen as a side option. Why not? Just
Yeah.
Salah, you're not having a good game, bring on Bowen. Wolves, Nunes, Neves,
Nori. Like they're
Nori, potentially Neto. He ain't been the same since the injury, but who knows with a new environment. Kilman, he is good. Max Kilman is
he's
good.
good. Leeds, though, we were even saying yesterday, Nonto, what's his Sinistera, my man, Somerville, Weston McKinney. Leeds have got some good individual players themselves, too. Yeah. Tyler Adams, they got some good players.
Yeah. Tyler Adams, that's a good one. Yeah. See, Leeds got Crystal Palace. Obviously,
I think Palace will be safe, to be honest with you. That's the one team, Roy Hodgson, for me, okay. I know obviously got relegated with Watford last year, but as much as I hate to say it, Roy Hodgson is a relegation specialist. So.
But hey, if they were to go, they're only 3 points ahead. Who they got?
They got everyone. Zaha, Olise, Eze. Yeah, they got players.
Decore, that guy can probably play also. Anderson, Gay. Oh yeah, to be fair, how are they even down there, man? Weird team, man. But yeah, anyway, yeah, just thought I'd say that. But let's move on, man.
Yeah, relegation. It'll be interesting. I think I agree with you. I think it'll go right down to the final day. The last thing that we got to talk about that kind of ties into tomorrow, guys, because you guys might be wondering where the hell is FTBL culture? Why ain't shit dropped? Why these guys slacking? We'll be back tomorrow. Don't you worry about that. But we want to talk a little bit about El Clasico that we saw today. By the way, this feels like the 8th El Clasico of the season. I feel like these guys play each other every 3 weeks. But Barca have had Real's number all season. Honestly, for me, they've had Real's number since Xavi took over. But Real, they came in with smoke. I know Barca were missing a lot of key players today. I think 5 of their regular starters were out. But Vinny and Big Body Benz, they got shit done. Real Madrid are into the final of the Copa del Rey against Osasuna, which I'm sure they're going to be feeling like heavy favorites for. And Benzema is kind of the topic of the conversation here. Obviously, a big hat trick. He's been in amazing form recently. I liked what you said, Cam, about playoff Benz. He sniffs the Champions League quarterfinals coming up. Says, all right, let me get back into form. Yeah. But tomorrow, me and Cam will be live for FTBL Culture. We're not sure what time yet, but we will update you guys as soon as we do know. And the topic will be kind of relative to last week, ranking the best strikers of the
16 players, 16 strikers, right?
Yeah, ranking the best 16 strikers of the 2010s. I know a few of you guys are probably feeling a little left out. We were talking about some old heads. You guys were probably like, I wasn't even born for that shit. But nah, this tomorrow, in fact, we will be talking about the best strikers of the 2010s. And I'm sure Benzema will be very high on that list.
Who else is going to be on that list?
Suarez, for sure.
Yeah, but who else featured and that should be on that list? Who else?
The poll. Big lanky RL9. Please, Raz.
It's uncomfortable, boy. We'll talk.
I can't lie. I follow a lot of Barca fans on my timeline, bro. Some guy tweeted today, it is imperative that Lewandowski is sold at the end of the season.
Boy. He ain't KB9, let me tell you that. He ain't KB9. And I said it from the jump, and I got cooked. When Lua was going for Ballon d'Ors, I said, he's not KB9. Now look. Come on, bro. Anyway, we're going to talk tomorrow. 100%. Even though this stuff don't count because it's not 2010. It's 2023. But those who know. Those who don't know, trust me.
I think it's gonna be really fun tomorrow too, because like there's some really good names in the 2010s. I honestly think that the era of strikers in that decade was very, very high. There's some There's some real gunmen, bro.
There is some gunmen in there, and I can't wait to see who comes up against who is gonna be. This debate is gonna be good, This debate is because we've touched on a few of them just like in our everyday conversation and disagreed. So it's gonna be interesting to see who actually comes up against who. I'm looking forward to that, boy. I'm looking
100%.
forward to that.
Make sure you guys have your notifications on so you don't miss when we go live. Of course, we're going to tweet about it, but just in case you guys aren't active on the timeline when we kind of promote it, make sure that your notifications are on so you know immediately when me and Cam go live to talk about that. The best strikers of the 2010s. It's going to be tasty, man. But yo, that'll be FTBL Culture tomorrow. Today has been United State of Mind. Obviously, like we talked about, Man United beat Brentford 1-0, back on track. Hopefully, form can start to pick up. Guys, I think that's going to be all we got to talk about today. Cam, is there anything else you want to say?
Just make sure that the notifications are on, man. Just make sure, because tomorrow's will be fun. You know what I mean? I think there's only 2 players that featured in the 2000s one that are featuring. Probably Wayne Rooney, maybe, and
I was going to say Ibra for sure.
Zlatan, and it's only 2 players. So that means we're giving you basically a fresh 14 players. It's going to be very lit, man. It's going to be lit. So make sure you turn the notifications on, man. And we're going to be there. We're going to be there.
Guys, this has been United State of Mind. It's myself, Lies, my boy Culture Cams.
Oh, yeah. Last thing. Quadrado. We see you.
Schmuck.
We see you. We see
Schmuck.
you. We see you. But we'll talk soon.
We'll see you when you see you. Peace.
A bit.